Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Great Day Houston. As we know, country music is big in these parts. In the 90s, the genre blossomed, producing more chart-topping superstars and adding new country music fans. Our first guest became one of the biggest hit makers with a song that Trisha Yearwood actually passed on. Oh well. But Deana Carter knew it was perfect for her first album.
Like strawberry wine, 17, the hot July moon saw everything. My first taste.
Deciding to record Strawberry Wine was a great decision for Carter. It helped her 1996 debut album, Did I Shave My Legs for This, go multi-platinum. Get ready to sing along with Deana tonight and tomorrow in Tomball. More on that in a few minutes. Right now, let's meet her in person and get some of the lyrics to her life. Good morning.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, the whole office was excited.
Oh,
all right.
nice.
When you watch that video, what's going through your mind?
Look how young I look.
Oh my God.
That's what goes through my mind. That year, it's so funny because the line, I remember when 30 was old.
Yeah.
You know, now I say, I remember when 40 was old.
Yeah.
In live shows.
It's okay because
Yes.
like 50 is the new 20 for me.
I know,
right?
me too. I refuse to bump it up to that one.
Yeah.
We'll just keep it at 40. Yes.
All right, you were raised in Nashville, which we all know is the mecca for country music. It was all around you.
Yes.
And sometimes when it's all around you, you take it for granted. But it was not only all around you outside the house, but inside the house too, because you're your dad.
Absolutely. My dad his name was Fred Carter Jr., and he was part of the A-Team, and he played on all these major hits. And it was all genres. It was country music, obviously, Willie and Waylon and Dolly and all these great chart toppers. But it was also Bob Dylan and Simon and Garfunkel and just all the other, Joan Baez, so lots of genres.
Yeah, and speaking of lots of genres, gospel also,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And your mama knew to keep you in church all the time.
That's
like a
right.
good Southern girl.
She needed to make sure our foundation was there. And oh, look at that picture. That is me at the Shriners Circus there, Barnum and Bailey. They would come to Municipal Auditorium in Nashville, and my sweet, beautiful young mom. And that was on the front page of the Tennessean.
Aww.
So it's funny because there were these things that throughout my life that were putting me in this place that we talked about this off camera, just about you have a plan and God has another plan, and it's all directing you.
Because sometimes we don't trust ourselves, but that's when you say you got to learn to trust God. You loved church choir and you had roles in school musicals, so we're now laying the foundation for you to be a performer. You saw Dolly Parton on TV and you said, that's my girl.
That's it. And I loved the variety show growing up. That was part of our culture. It was Donnie and Marie and Sonny and Cher, and everybody had a variety show. And so for me, those things just went together, and that's really the path I thought I would take, other than being a newscaster, which I would have loved to have done.
Yeah, we'll give you a chance to do that too.
Yes.
Right, all right. So songwriting in middle school, that's really early to do songwriting.
Yes.
But you were writing songs in middle school and mostly faith-based. Your dad encouraged you but did not push you.
Right. He did. You know how it goes. We've got kids that are teens and beyond a little bit, and so there's that struggle there for your independence. You want to have your own voice. And I loved all the classic rock stuff too. I loved Journey and Queen and, you know, all the stuff on the radio. And so he was trying to guide me, and we would clash a little bit, but he just was always, he would say, Deana, if you can just, because he loved songwriters, that was the basic thing for him. The basis.
And what a lot of people don't know, that's where the money is, people.
That's it. And he said, if you can just write your songs and sit on a stool by yourself and perform, you'll always have a friend. No matter where you are, you'll find a meal. Like, it's going to take care of you.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just really important, the songwriting part.
Yeah. And then the performance part, what's great is when you just have a guitar in your hand. That's all the musical accompaniment you need, right? And your dad gave you a guitar.
He did. He gave me a guitar, and it's just been the thrill of my life to, it's also been intimidating because he was known for his sound, and as individuals we're going to have a little different talent or whatever, so I have the ears from him. I can melodically hear things and taught myself how to play the guitar because I was a piano player originally. And just finding the music, if I didn't write the music, it was important to include the Nashville community, all the publishers, and Nashville's such a loving community for the industry.
And handing over a song for you to interpret the way you would interpret it.
Yes.
And so it's interesting how I did a thing in Nashville once where we had the same song, handed it out to 5 different people.
Yes.
And how you got such a different feel for all of it, even though the words were the same.
Yes.
All right. With all that said, you're like, I want to be a musician possibly. You headed off to the University of Tennessee, paid your own way through college. You worked as a tavern barmaid. I'm sure you got lots of tips. You sang at the sorority house, graduated in 1989 with a degree in occupational rehabilitation, and you worked in that field for a while.
I did. I worked with stroke and head injury patients was my focus. And music, again, was like a foundation. I saw the most response from them if I'd put on records from their era. And these were legit albums that we'd spin in the therapy sessions, and that's where they would light up. And I just thought that was fascinating.
You said legit albums. I'm looking at a couple of the
Yeah.
staff members over here, and they're like, what does she mean by these legit albums?
I
There
know,
was
what
a
are
vinyl
those?
thing that we would put down, and there was I'll show you later.
Yeah.
All right, come over to my house. I'll show you the Victrola too.
Yeah.
But so they were responding to the power of music, right?
Absolutely.
But when did you make that break where it was like, can I really make a living doing this?
Ironically, according to my mom, she came to see me in Knoxville. I was in AD Pi at UT, and we did these things every
The other
year.
UT, by the way, let me clarify.
I
because
know. This has been an ongoing thing too. I
Yeah.
know. But yes, so I was in a show. It was a Carnicus show, and we got together with Lambda Kaiser, other fraternities, and every year we'd put on these things. So my parents came, and it was a musical, as in Broadway-esque. And I had the lead role, and my parents were just stunned because I think it had been in the bed, in my bedroom, singing and around the house and whatnot. And my dad would have me sing some demos and things for him. But that's when they saw me on a stage.
Wow.
And I felt so comfortable, and I loved it. But I never thought it would be me, out front. I always felt like, and still feel like
Sometimes
I'm sort
I
of
think it is naturally you. It's like, this is what I naturally do.
Yes.
What's the big deal, right? Speaking of the stage, though, you had never been on a stage as big as when Willie Nelson invited you to perform at Live Aid.
Yes, that was amazing. It was Farm Aid, and the year was 1994.
That's right, Farm Aid. That's right, yeah.
1994, so it was before my record had come out. And he invited me, and I went out with my acoustic guitar, and my co-writer Chuck Jones came with me, and we did a couple of songs. I was so nervous. Oh man, in New Orleans at the Superdome, and I was so nervous. It was packed house, and when I did I shave my legs for this? The
Which I
house
just love
came
that,
down.
that whole line. Just if that's all you said was, "Did I shave my legs for this?" We all get this.
Yes, and I'd worked in a comedy club as a waitress, all these jobs like to pay my student loans and things back, and I just something connected, like this many people can relate to what I'm saying, really surprised me.
Again, the power of music,
Yes.
right? All right, your first album, and a lot of people don't understand kind of the trek to getting there. There are all kinds of things, ins and outs that could happen. Your album released in Europe in 1995, but the U.S. release was postponed, then canceled.
Right. I thought I was going to have move to London because I'd had such a great run.
Yeah.
And the reason I chose to go to Europe first was because I knew how brutal Nashville, how hardcore, especially with the songwriters and the artists, they take such care and pride and time back then to develop artists.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to let them down. I didn't want to have a terrible show. So I got to go overseas and really work on it. And that was an experience because I went just with my guitar. I didn't know one person.
Yeah.
I had a British tour manager met me at the airport, all British band at a rehearsal hall.
I can imagine it right now. They're like, "Hello,"
I
and you're
know.
like, "Howdy, how y'all doing?"
I said, y'all have such a funny accent, But that was really important. It's always been important for me to be very independent, to make sure if I'm going to fail that I don't, which we all do,
Right.
that I can get over it and keep
and
going.
There's that thing called faith that you
Yes,
had been relying on. Okay,
absolutely.
you attended a songwriter showcase, and there was a writer there that sang Strawberry Wine, and that
Yes.
song had been shopped around. It's another thing a lot of us don't realize sometimes, that
Right.
a lot of songs will be shopped around, and somebody may be getting ready to record something else, or they're just not feeling it. And so Strawberry Wine, what was it about the song that you went, this is it for me?
We were, when Matraca Berg and Gary Harrison wrote the song, and I didn't know it had been shopped around at all. I thought that I discovered something, you know, because I was in shock that they had written my life story verbatim. Verbatim, because I went through my wild child years. You know, I'm like anybody else was a wild child because I had come up in this like traditional home, and I wanted to
In church 3 times a week,
yes, and like everyone, I went out there to live my life and see what it was all about. So when I heard her singing this, and I'd known Matraca for a long time, I just thought, why didn't you tell me you wrote this about my life, you know? And I had to record it. So I took it into Capitol Records because we had had the struggle you were talking about. They were going to drop me, and we decided to re-record half the record from the European record. So we put it all together, and I brought in Strawberry Wine, and we danced anyway. Those were 2 outside songs, which I did not want to do because I didn't write the songs.
Right.
But I couldn't pass up the fact that it was so honest and blew my mind and took them in.
Today, you know, somebody can record something, and like because of, you know, social media and being online,
Right.
they can see whatever number of streams or likes or whatever
Right.
Instantly.
Yes.
In this case, you had to wait until you got that call from the record rep saying, hey,
Right.
it's blowing up, the song is blowing up, #1 Billboard Hot Country chart.
Yeah.
Was there a phone call for you, or how did that work that you found out that this song was awesome?
I think it was, you know, you do radio promotion and weeks
Right.
and weeks and weeks of promo and touring before anybody. I knew in the radio station, we'd play these songs that were recorded, and then I'd pick up my guitar and play Strawberry Wine every time.
Yeah.
And when the phones lit up and all the people were calling, like, play that, we want to hear that song. And that's when I knew, when I saw the red lights going back,
Yeah.
when the phones were right there, like the bat phone, and you know.
I just had a flashback.
Yeah.
Because remember when we were kids, we would call
Yeah.
the radio station, and somebody would answer. Oh, they answered. Could you play Strawberry Wine? And then you'd hear it, like, you know, a few minutes later, go, they listened to me. It was
Yes.
already in their rotation because it was a hot
Yes,
song. You're
yeah.
like, I'm the one that's why that's. You know, yeah.
Yes.
So were you someplace where you heard Strawberry Wine on the radio and realized, oh, this is not the cassette tape or the CD or whatever. It's everybody else is listening to it too.
Yes, it was in the car traveling on the road doing promo and touring, and you hear the opening lick, the bow, bow,
Yeah.
and it just
Do that
it
again?
pulls you in. I was like everybody else, like, oh, turn it up,
Yeah.
there it is, you know. So just the thrill of my life, and continues to bless me so much. People come, that we've had friends and fans now 30 years next year. It'll be the 30th
yeah,
anniversary.
Well, in our green room this morning, it was
Yes.
funny. One of our guests, Megan McClanahan, is coming up in a little bit. She goes, I usually contain myself when I'm geeking out over someone, but I can't contain myself. But, you know, and you went on to, obviously, there just, you know, 5 million albums sold, 5 hit singles, including We Danced Anyway, How Do I Get There From Here? You've done stadium tours, you know, Letterman, Leno, TV cameos, all kinds of things. And you've kept writing, you've kept singing. And then, of course, you and Tequila, a 2-time Grammy-nominated. Kenny Chesney released it in 2011.
Yes.
And Tequila's like the hottest thing right now. So
Yes.
just re-record that one. All right.
Yes.
For you today in personal life, faith is paramount. I just saw a shot in that video of you holding a little, looked like a little boy. Was that your son?
No.
Oh, it's just the stunt son.
Yes, I didn't have him at the time. Now he would. Yeah, he's been in. You know, they're in every picture
Yeah,
after they
yeah,
come along.
yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
that was another little actor in the video.
You say
Yeah.
being a mom changed your life.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. That is when you learn the most, is when you become a parent, and it's when you apologize the most to your parents. You're like,
Yeah.
Mom, I'm so sorry. I
Well,
had no
that's what
idea.
they always say. You just wait till you have kids.
I know,
right?
totally.
All right, you're coming to Tomball tonight and tomorrow at Main Street Crossing, so that's going to be a
Yes.
whole lot of fun. But
Yes.
also in February, Boots on the Water, a cruise. You're
Yes.
doing a country cruise,
Yes.
And you'll be performing with Clint Black and Diamond Rio. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. In fact, and the Diamond Rio, "In God We Still Trust," I think it's their song. That's written by Bill Nash. Good morning, Bill Nash, who lives here in Houston.
Yes.
So, but that'll be a fun cruise.
We've done this long enough to figure out that in the winter we do the cruises.
Yeah.
And in the summer we get to do all the festivals. And what's so wonderful about being at Main Street, I've been there over a decade. Every year we come back, and they've given us 2 nights now, the last couple of years. But Matt and Lisa there are just amazing, and I encourage you to go if you have not been. But it's an evening just in the living room.
Yeah,
with everybody.
Intimate setting. So yeah, we love them there at Main Street. Deana, thank you so
absolutely.
much for doing the early side and coming to see us today.
Thank you. It's such a gift to be here. I appreciate it.
All right, Deana Carter will be performing tonight and tomorrow night at Main Street Crossing in Tomball. Doors open at 6 p.m. and the concert begins at 8. Limited seating is still available, so don't wait to get your tickets. For more information, visit Great Day Houston, and we will connect you. Will they be serving strawberry wine? Just asking.
You know, sometimes they do.
Yeah. Good.
Yes.
Break out the Boone's Farm, baby. All right.